This presentation will be detailing our collaborative data visualization project. This project entailed us examining the UNM Spring 2016 Official Enrollment Report and selecting 2 tables of data to highlight. We then chose 2 different types of graphics to highlight each data set, a total of 4 graphics in all. The purpose of this project was to show how changing a graphic to a set of data can change its meaning. In this project, we had to think about many elements such as which data set we were going to use and which graphics would best represent that data. Area graph. This area graph is designed specifically for the Taos branch, or anyone at UNM who is interested in the number of students transferring from the Taos branch to UNM. This chart is specifically geared toward a specific branch, in contrast to the more general audience of the original chart. It lets the audience know at a glance how the Taos branch compares to the other branches and CNM in total transfers over a 5-year time span. The use of color sets the Taos branch information apart from the rest.
So another graphic that we chose to do as a group is the line graph. This was recommended, and we decided to use this graphic for the UNM branch transfers data. And what this data is basically telling us is how many students UNM gets to their main campus from other branches. And this is of course going over the course of a few years, so from 2012 to 2016. And we decided to use the line graph for this data instead of the original table that UNM chose to use, was because line graphs best correlate the data and what it is over time. So replacing the table with the line graph actually gives us a better understanding and a clearer picture of how many branch transfer students UNM actually gets. And what we found was that basically UNM gets approximately the same amount of branch transfers as they did over the course of the years. It is slowly, very slowly decreasing by like a person or 2 every semester, but in general, it's staying the same.
This is Jeremy from the English 290 group. The table for the average student load allows for columns to convey data, numbers, and text as visuals to the general audience. You can most effectively share titles of specific groups such as a law school and medical school, along with percentages within the table. This allows for easily viewing and learning about the average student load. A certain audience that will benefit from the table is the audience who needs percentages with numbers in rows and columns to really figure out what is going on within the averages. We can make a case example of the table and talk about the UNM Law School admissions team. They'll be analyzing the data from the table to changes to growth, such as increase or decrease in student numbers. The data from the table is really vital to the UNM Law School admissions team, because they will need the table for future reference and records use. The table is best used for reviewing exact percentages too. Tables are incredibly useful for numbers and times. The UNM Law School admissions team can look at a specific row and column for exact data.
For our final chart, we decided to use the bar graph. The bar graph represents various schools and programs at UNM, such as medical school, law school, graduate programs, and undergraduate programs. This includes the grand total as well. This graph works best for those who would like to view these individual schools and programs in their own distinct setting. What I mean by that is that the data changes are grouped together for an easy year-by-year comparison. However, this graph can also easily be used as a comparison between the individual schools. Color significantly helps with identifying the year in which the changes took place. For example, the lightest blue bar represents the year 2012 in each individual program. And as you go down the darker blues, you see the changes occurring as the years go by. Overall, this graph emphasizes the group aspect of all different programs presented in the table. It is also best suited for those who would like to find out the average student load in each individual school or as a grand total.
Overall, this project was fun yet challenging. Collaborating with a group that has various schedules and no centralized physical location was difficult at times. We succeeded by examining the project, breaking down the individual tasks needed, and everyone doing their part. We have gained valuable experience and knowledge from working together on this project, such as how graphics can change the meaning of any data and influence how we think and our intended audience thinks about the data we are analyzing and presenting.